Ambassadors and high commissioners from 13 foreign missions have expressed concern over the deaths, violence, the use of live ammunition and destruction of property arising from anti-government protests organized by the opposition. They are now offering to mediate in the standoff. In a joint statement issued by the missions, the leaders called for dialogue, even as the opposition rubbished their proposal to mediate, saying they did not stand to be counted when the opposition called on them before. The Law Society of Kenya also called for a ceasefire, saying while it was the constitutional right of every Kenyan to demonstrate, the right was valid if the protests were peaceful. Chemtai Goin reports.
In a statement, 13 countries from the European Union and the United States expressed concern about the chaos witnessed, the deaths arising from the use of excessive force by police officers and live bullets to disperse protesters, and the destruction of property, both public and private. While acknowledging that many Kenyans were grappling with the biting cost of living and that there were issues that needed to be addressed, the diplomatic mission implored the feuding parties to initiate dialogue and amicably find solutions to ensure that no more lives were lost. They expressed their readiness to mediate in the conflict with a similar plea made by the Law Society of Kenya.
We call on all citizens, government officials, community leaders, religious organizations, civil societies to come together and answer the call for national dialogue. The Law Society is willing and ready to offer its expert mediators to bring together the different political factions in order to find lasting solutions to the challenges we face as a nation.
The Azimio coalition has dismissed the diplomats' mediation call, saying at the moment they are not interested in their efforts.
They have been silent when people are getting killed here. Why would it take someone from Geneva to issue a statement that was issued, and they are here and they have not spoken? We will engage them at our convenience.
And we expect them also not to be partisan in any way.
Wamalwa's statement, referring to the concern by the United Nations Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights, which Friday cautioned the police against using deadly force when managing protests. The Law Society of Kenya condemned the police for excessive use of force to disperse and contain the protesters, resulting in deaths and injuries, urging the Independent Policing Oversight Authority (IPOA) to expedite investigations into the goings-on.
The policing of protest must seek to facilitate peaceful assembly, and any use of force must be guided by the principles of legality, necessity, proportionality, and professionalism to avert heightening tensions and provoke violence from the protesters.
LSK, however, also calling protesters to order, requiring of them peaceful protests.
It is crucial to note that the right to protest peacefully does not permit individuals the right to engage in violent or destructive behavior. Violence, vandalism, looting, or any form of aggression undermines the purpose and legitimacy of peaceful protests.
While criticizing the government's withdrawal of security from Azimio leaders, LSK acknowledged that the issues that have been raised are grave and need an urgent solution from the government. Azimio protests have been premised on the high cost of living. However, the opposition has also demanded an audit of the 2022 presidential election results, the bipartisan reconstitution of IEBC, and that the ruling coalition stops meddling in the affairs of the opposition and allied parties. Chemtai Goin, Citizen TV, Nairobi.